So we already talked about position players that you should be using in Diamond Dynasty, and you all really liked that video. So now we are going to be talking pitchers that you should be using in Diamond Dynasty. We have starting pitchers, we have bullpen arms in this video, ton of pitcher options for you guys. And then after we do this video, up next is going to be position players that we should not be using in Diamond Dynasty right now. Like my other videos though, these are just my opinion. So if you agree with me or disagree with me, that's completely okay. So if you're excited for this one, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. And make sure to go follow me over on Twitch, because we are live streaming a ton of MLB The Show 22 content over there. But I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get it.
Minika, watch me on Twitch, ooh, I'm streaming. I'm on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, red button beaming. Let's get that sub count, take over YouTube, ooh, we teaming. My content so hot, ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Red button beaming.
So I have a good amount of pitchers for you guys today in this video. We have 8 starting pitchers, then we have 4 arms coming out of the bullpen. And like I said with my players video that you should be using in Diamond Dynasty, I can't talk about every single player in the game right now. There are a lot of great options that you could use in the game that aren't going to be on this list. So in the comments down below, let us know other pitchers you believe should be used in Diamond Dynasty right now. I update this list pretty regularly every few weeks, so the next episode could have some of those players in it. These are just my opinion too, so if you don't like one of these pitchers, you don't have to use them. These are just completely my opinion, but let's get into the first card. The first pitcher we are going to talk about is the most expensive card in this video, and that is going to be 88 overall live series Corbin Burnes. After this, every card is going to be pretty much cheaper than this Corbin Burnes card, but I do think he's the best live series starting pitcher, and that's why I want to talk about him, because he does have an outlier sinker ball at the beginning of the year. He throws hard, he has a cutter and a sinker, also comes with a slider, has a really good circle change and a curveball too. The per 9 stats from all the live series pitchers for the most part aren't that good at the beginning of the year, so you don't really have to worry about that. 84 hits per 9, 82 Ks per 9, 86 stamina, 80 controls. He does have pretty solid pitch control. You see 3 pitches, 84 and above, 84 on that cutter, 90 on the curveball, 96 on the slider. So an extremely effective slider with outlier on the sinker ball and a really good cutter. One of the best cutters in the game, in my opinion. I always like throwing that pitch with Corbin Burnes. It has so much movement, in my opinion. Even though the pitch break only says 75, it feels a lot better in game. So 75 pitch break on the cutter, 57 on the sinker, 85 on the curveball, 82 on the slider, and 62 on the circle change. I just think he's better than DeGrom, better than OHTANI, better than Scherzer. I love this live series card. Go pick him up for about 30K. Up next is going to be the 91 overall breakout Corey Kluber card. Now this card has everything I want besides the per 9 stats, but his Ks per 9 are actually pretty solid right now at the beginning of the year. 95 Ks per 9, one of too many foul tips, should be able to strike out a decent amount of batters. The hits per 9 though do worry me a little bit, but like I said with Corbin Burnes, a lot of these pitchers hits per 9 aren't that high at the beginning of the year, so you're not going to have much options with that. But he has everything else I want. He has good stamina, he has the pitch selection that I want, he has a sinker, cutter, slurve, an excellent slurve, 4-seam fastball, circle change, has all the pitches that I want to work with, and the pitch control is excellent right now. All 5 pitches above 75 pitch control at the beginning of the year. 76 on the slurve, 86 on the sinker, 96 on that cutter, that's amazing, 83 on the 4-seam fastball, 81 on the circle change, and then the pitch break is also very solid. 4 pitches, 75 and above, 85 on the sinker, 90 on the cutter. So Burnes and Kluber, really good cutters. 80 on the slurve, 75 on the circle change, and the 4-seam fastball, I probably would try not to throw that pitch too much. You want to throw sinkers, cutters, slurves, and the changeup. Don't really touch the 4-seam fastball with Corey Kluber, and he's only about 22K with a buy order. Next up is going to be 86 overall Chris Sale, and I personally always struggle when I face Chris Sale's card. That's why I like to use him, because I usually format my lineup to actually face righty pitching, so I put a good amount of lefties in there, switch-handed bats that are better against righty arms. So when I face a lefty and I have to go up against them lefty-lefty, I'm never very good, and I feel like the majority of MLB The Show players are way better righty-righty than they are lefty-lefty. So they're going to format their lineups to face a righty arm. So when you bring in that lefty to start off the game, they're already at a disadvantage. And Chris Sale has a funky release too. So when he gets to his release point, he's going to be very close to the batter's box. So I do find Chris Sale extremely difficult to touch. When he gets a higher upgraded card than this 86 overall, he's going to be one of the best lefty pitchers in the game. But this 86 live series is pretty budget friendly, and he's very good too, in my opinion. 4-seam fastball, slider, circle change, sinker. He has the sinker you want. He also has that slider to pitch it away to lefties. I like the sinker ball here. The main fact is that he's a great lefty starter in the game right now, and we don't have too many of those at the moment. So I really like this Chris Sale card. Funky release, big size, really like Chris Sale for 15K. The next card we are going to talk about is a card that is extremely cheap right now, and get him while he's cheap, because once the face of the franchise program is gone, these cards are going to start to go up in price, in my opinion. Made a video on that already. So we have a sinker, slider, changeup, 4-seam fastball, cutter. every pitch I want he has. He has a changeup, he has that cutter sinker combo, and he has a slider. Love that already. The pitch break is a 99 at the beginning of the year with 85 hits per 9, 78 Ks per 9. Decent stamina for the beginning of the year, 93. The control's pretty solid too. 3 pitches, 84 and above with the pitch control, 84 on the changeup, 92 on the slider, 94 on the sinker, and then the pitch break even better. All 5 pitches, 75 and above with 99 pitch break on the changeup and the sinker. Those 2 pitches are going to be filthy. The pitch break on the slider is also very good in an 88. The 4-seam fastball, again, would probably not try to throw 4-seam fastball. Stick to the sinker, the slider, the changeup, and the cutter, and he has 75 pitch break on the cutter here. So this card is way undervalued, extremely too cheap. No reason why Logan Webb should not be in your rotation right now, unless you have guys like Randy Johnson, Mike Messina, and the higher echelon guys of starting pitchers. Get him on the market right now before he goes up in price for about 12,000 stubs. The next card up is going to be a card very similar to Logan Webb, and that is going to be the 90 overall face of the franchise, Marcus Stroman. Very similar pitch selection, very similar stats, 86 hits per 9, 71 Ks per 9 from Stroman, 99 stamina with a sinker, slider, splitter, cutter, 4-seam fastball. So you take away Logan Webb's changeup and you replace it with Marcus Stroman's splitter here. They both have really good pitch break. We're going to take a look at the pitch control right now. The pitch control is actually much better from Marcus Stroman. All 5 pitches, 84 and above. That's insane at the beginning of the year. 84 sinker, 84 on the splitter, 89 on the slider, then 90 on the cutter and the 4-seam fastball, and the pitch break on the sinker and the slider just as good almost as Logan Webb. 90 on the sinker, 93 on the slider, 80 on the splitter, 79 on the cutter, and again, don't throw 4-seam fastballs. Those are the pitches that people want to send out of the ballpark. Use a pitch that has some pretty good movement. Don't throw 4-seam fastball with Webb. Don't throw it with Marcus Stroman. Don't throw it with Corey Kluber. Do not throw a 4-seam fastball unless your guy touches 98, 99, 100 miles an hour. Just don't do it. Again, extremely budget friendly like Logan Webb for about 13,000 stubs. Now we're going to talk about an extreme budget friendly option for you all. 81 overall Lance McCullers. Now this is a card I like to see from a budget card. He has a sinker, has a slider, has a cutter, circle change, knuckle curve, throws the ball decently fast, about 94, 95 miles an hour on the sinker, the cutter at a 90 mile per hour, 90 hits per 9, 73 Ks per 9. So Logan Webb and Marcus Stroman, very similar per 9 stats to Lance McCullers, and he's about 10,000 stubs cheaper and 9 overall less. So that's pretty good. 84 stamina. Control though, Marcus Stroman and Logan Webb definitely better in that aspect, but he also have a 93 velo stat, 95 break, and the pitch control on the slider and the knuckle curve are very good. The sinker at a 75 isn't bad from a budget card. Cutter doesn't have the best pitch control, so make sure you're dotting up with pinpoint if you're going to use that cutter. And then the pitch break is actually really solid for an 81 overall card. 3 pitches, 81 and above, 81 break on the knuckle curve, 88 on the circle change, 94 on the slider, 75 on the sinker, and then 58 on the cutter. He has everything you want. Again, you're getting a budget card here for only about 2,000 stubs. You can't get everything perfect, but he's a pretty solid budget option for your team. The next card is going to be even cheaper than Lance McCullers, and that is going to be 80 overall Noah Syndergaard. If you're somebody that likes to throw fastball, sinker, fastball, this guy is going to be the one to go to here, because this guy could actually throw it 98, 99 miles an hour. So a 4-seam fastball, you could actually throw it past a lot of people, especially if you're going up against a new player, especially if you're going up against newer players that can't really touch the fast stuff. The high sinker mile per hour and the high fastball mile per hour are really going to come in clutch from Noah Syndergaard, but he also has a decent amount of pitches to work from too, with a changeup, slider, curveball. He's just really missing that cutter, but he has a pretty solid pitch selection here. He can throw gas, we know that. The pitch control though is actually excellent from this card, so he can throw gas, and if you dot up with pinpoint, it's going to go pretty much exactly where you want it to, with 90 pitch control on the sinker, 90 on the 4-seam fastball, 84 on the changeup, 91 on the slider, and then 72 on the curveball. The pitch break though, definitely not great. So you're going to have to be very careful when you're looking to put a pitch in the corner, because if you miss your pinpoint, you miss your meter, he can throw it right over the middle, so he can cost you a little bit. So it's high risk, high reward with Noah Syndergaard, but if you like throwing fastballs, he's going to be your guy in only 500 stubs on the market. The final starting pitcher we are going to talk about in this video is one of the best budget pitchers in the entire game. This guy is completely well-rounded because he does throw a fast sinker ball and a fast 4-seam fastball, but unlike Noah Syndergaard, he also has unreal pitch break, which we'll get to in a second. 83 stamina from Charlie Morton, 82 hits per 9, 73 Ks per 9, has a curveball, 4-seam fastball, sinker, cutter, circle change. Now I do wish he did have a slider, but you can't get everything perfect, like I said, especially with a budget card. But take a look here at this pitch break at the beginning of the year from a budget 83 overall gold card. 98 on the curveball, 92 on the 4-seam fastball and the sinker, cutter okay 66, but then 96 on the circle change. So majority of the pitches are 90 plus with a budget gold card at the beginning of the year. He does struggle a little bit sometimes with foul tips and actually striking people out. But if you're playing somebody that can't really tell if the ball is going to go out of the zone, they're going to be swinging at everything and you want to have a problem striking them out. For only 1,200 stubs, this is as good as it gets. So now we're going to move to the bullpen here, and we have 90 overall Devin Williams. Now Class A, Devin Williams, two excellent face of the franchise righties. I don't have Class A on this list because I don't want to talk about every single face of the franchise card, because I could stack this video out with face of the franchise relievers, starting pitchers, all that stuff. You guys know they are all very good, especially for their price points. So I'm going to talk about Devin Williams, and then I'm going to talk about the lefty bullpen guy in just a second. But Devin Williams, some of the best per nine stats coming out of the bullpen right now: 112 hits per nine, 114 Ks per nine, circle change, four-seam fastball, cutter, screwball. But take a look at this from a Devin Williams card that came out, mind you, on day one of MLB The Show 22 Diamond Dynasty. The pitch break, you might ask: 99 on the circle change, 99 on the four-seam fastball, 99 on the cutter, 99 on the screwball. How is someone going to touch Devin Williams' screwball when it's starting at the top of the zone and ending up in the ground? It's going to be extremely tough. It's not going to be easy to hit it, especially with the per nine stats making your PCI size very small. This card is a must-have for your bullpen, and like I said with Webb and Marcus Stroman, make sure you are buying these faces of the franchise cards before the program goes away and these cards start to go up in price, because this card is too good to only be 12,000 stubs. Next, we're going to talk about the lefty reliever in the face of the franchise program. Of course, I am talking about 90 overall AROLDIS CHAPMAN. He could throw a 100 mile per hour four-seam fastball, 97, 98 mile per hour two-seam fastball. Now this card doesn't have outlier, so that holds him back a little bit, probably from being one of the best relievers in the entire game, but he's still one of the top lefty relievers in the game right now. Slider, splitter. A ton of people just get intimidated when they see AROLDIS CHAPMAN on the mound. 116 hits per nine, 118 Ks per nine. Gonna make your opponent's PCI very, very small, especially with the contact stats not being super high at the beginning of the year. 79 control, 99 velo, 99 break. AROLDIS CHAPMAN cards always have really solid pitch break as well. The pitch control, all four pitches 75 and above, and the pitch break 99 on the slider and the splitter. So when you're throwing them the 100 mile per hour four-seam fastball, then you switch it up with an 86 mile per hour slider that has extreme movement, it's going to be really tough to touch AROLDIS CHAPMAN here. If you want to pick him up, 18,000 stubs. This next card coming out of the bullpen is going to be 88 overall Josh Hader, a card I actually think is better than AROLDIS CHAPMAN as a lefty reliever coming out of the bullpen, because Hader cards always dominate early game of MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty every single year as a lefty reliever coming out of the bullpen. Difficult pitch release to time up here, and he has a great inside edge day to day. 111 hits per nine becomes 119 hits per nine. 109 Ks per nine becomes 117 Ks per nine. He throws almost as hard as AROLDIS CHAPMAN. 96 mile per hour on the four-seam fastball, 96 on the two-seamer, slider, circle change. Pitch control though is way better than CHAPMAN. 94 on the four-seamer, 90 on the slider, 84 on the circle change, and the pitch break on the two-seamer is 99 and 87 on the four-seam fastball. I think he's a little bit better than CHAPMAN because he's a little more difficult to time up, in my opinion. More complicated pitch release to actually see at the batter's box compared to AROLDIS CHAPMAN, but they're both very good. I would definitely try to get both of them into my bullpen. If you want to pick him up, he's about 22K on the market. And we can't have a pitcher's video you should use in Diamond Dynasty right now without talking about Aaron Loup, even though he is a 75 overall. If you don't know how good Aaron Loup is right now, go buy him for 120 stubs and use this card a couple times coming out of your bullpen. Might be a top tier lefty in the game, and he's only a 75 overall. Sinker, cutter, circle change, slurve. Difficult pitch release to time up. Excellent movement on all of his pitches. He has a great pitch selection as a sinker, cutter, and a slurve. 78 hits per nine. The stats are definitely not great, I'm not going to lie to you all, but in game, he's just a different animal. 95 pitch break on the circle change, 88 on the sinker and the pitch control, 80 plus on the cutter, sinker, circle change. I'm telling you, just try him out for 120 stubs. I promise you will not regret it. If I'm lying to you, let me know in the comments down below, but I'm telling you, a lot of people will tell you that Aaron Loup is amazing. All right, everyone, so that's going to do it for the pitchers you should be using in Diamond Dynasty right now. So that's position players and now pitchers you should be using. Next up is going to be position players that you should not be using in Diamond Dynasty right now, and then we'll do pitchers after that. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.